Hey folks, it's Jedi Master Skoy again. I think in this tutorial I'm just going to play around in Google Drawing and just kind of let it run for a few minutes and just kind of some random things here. So let's switch over. Alright, so I decided to rename my infographic from Big Bang to My Life to make it a little more general. So that way you can use some of these ideas not just specifically for our one assignment. Alright, so you can also see that I rearranged a few things here. I decided to make this text box a little bigger, add in some more information besides just the date. And I don't like that text box there, and this picture is not going to fit anymore. So 1978, the first few moments of existence, he was crying, screaming, and otherwise making demands of everyone around him. If you've been around babies, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's move this up and add another text box over here. Again, notice these blue lines that kind of pop up. That shows you that they are the same size as something else that's on the screen. So again, kind of helps. The red lines will help you snap in place with things. These blue lines will help you kind of make things consistent. So for my OCD folks and my design folks, it just looks cleaner if you have some things lined up. Alright, so I have this text box here. Let's see here, 1980s. His formative years were spent playing video games on the original NES, spending time hauling wood with his father, and camping with friends. Okay, so let's click over here to end that text box. You can see that this goes back to the default text, which if that's what you're using, that's fine. I'm going to Control A will select all the text in that box. So click on the box and then Control A selects all the text. I'm going to use this font here, and I can make that a little bit bigger. Again, those blue lines just show that the spacing is matching up with something else. And then maybe I want to add in some more pictures over here. So let's search the web. I spent a lot of time camping with friends, so campfire. This looks like a good one. Insert. I think you can also double click it to add that picture in there. And so, yeah, I like this picture, but it's a little big. So grab the corners of that picture and then pull back towards the middle. We'll scale it down. And I think I'm going to make that smaller still. So I can grab this corner here and continue to scale that back. And let's add a picture of the classic NES, the original Nintendo. Click on it and then hit insert. And by the way, I'm just picking the first image for simplicity, but you can actually scroll through if you don't like those first few images and find a better one. So you can see that these ones are kind of overlapped. I'm going to scale that down some more. Ooh, that's probably scaled back a little too much. So make that a little bigger. And then if I want to crop that picture, if I want to trim it, crop it. So I double click, and then you see these black lines here. That's going to let me trim the edges. Whoops. Control Z my friend for undo. Let's try that again. There we go. And then I'm going to hit enter to save that change. And so now I just cut off that image. If you double click, you see that the rest of that image is still there, but I've just trimmed it off. And then I can move that up here if I want. All right, and so again, can continue to kind of go through here. And if again you want to add a little more splash of color, you can pick some shapes instead of just text boxes. I'm going to stretch that out so that it matches up over here. Again, that's just my personal preference. '90s in middle school and whoops. And high school. Developed a greater love. This is not a romantic love story. Sorry. For Star Wars and sports. So yes, I played sports and was a nerd at the same time. All right. And actually, learning. So for Star Wars, sports, sport shouldn't be capitalized. Go. And I'm going to do a Control A. Change that to my special font that I've been using. And you see that this has a colored background. If I don't want a border around that box, I can actually go up here and make my border color transparent. All right, so just a little more playing around. Again, with an infographic, this is a timeline example. You don't necessarily have, you don't have to set it up this way. Your infographic can be arranged quite differently. This is just one way to do that. So hopefully that helps.